Welcome back to another Pokemon Throwback Thursday, where every Thursday morning we take a deep dive into a new set. We are going in complete order, so the set we are checking out today is Hidden Fates. And instead of checking out a certain Pokemon this week, we're going to do something a little bit different. And we're going to be looking at all of the different Team Rocket cards throughout all of the years. So in case anybody wants to collect just Team Rocket stuff, this is the perfect video for you. And we are going to do a little giveaway today. All you have to do is make sure you subscribe. You got to hit that notification bell. You got to hit that like, and then you have to answer the question of the day. If you guys had to delete an entire generation, which generation are you guys getting rid of? This is what we're giving away today. One of the beautiful Oricorio SIR promos. I've been stocking up on these. And I do have to announce the winner from last Thursday's giveaway, and that is at Reborn Lux. So just shoot me an email or hit me up on Instagram. I'll get those cards sent out to you. And we do have to give a big thanks for our video sponsor real quick, and that is Punch-Out Gaming. Punch-Out Gaming is my local game store that I go to, and it's the #1 game store in all of Minnesota. I have been to them all. And this weekend, we are having a card show, and it's not in the store this time. It's going to be a couple doors down. It's going to be a ton more space. I think they're going to have like 50 tables. It's going to be a blast, completely free to get in. And then the next day, they are having their 12-year anniversary. Tons of giveaways, prizes, free snacks, free mini donuts. It's going to be a blast, so definitely swing by if you guys are in the area. I promise it will be worth it. And of course, if you're going to grade through PSA for your very first time, you can click my link in the description, use code BEARD25, and you're going to get $25 off your very first submission, which is basically a free graded card. All right, let's hop into it. So we have Hidden Fates here. This set came out August 22nd, 2019. Total set value is $2,758. There is 218 cards. And honestly, this is one of the greatest sets we've ever gotten. It's just that it came out before we were really getting alternate arts. So it is basically just baby shinies and full arts. But the quality of Pokemon, honestly, might be the best we've ever gotten. Even better than Evolving Skies if you really look at it. I mean, check it out. We got Charizard, Umbreon, Sylveon, Cynthia with Garchomp, Espeon, Mewtwo, Greninja, Lucario, Scizor, Darkrai, Leafeon, Jesse and James, Reshiram, Glaceon, Alola, Ninetales GX, Gardevoir, Zygarde, Eevee. We got Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno, Ho-Oh. We got Altaria. We can even go down further. Lycanroc, Electrode. I mean, there's just so many. Even the baby shinies, the Riolu. We got that Garchomp, Banette, Scyther, other Altaria. We got Ralts, Rowlet. It is just completely stacked. And this set actually does have some Team Rocket cards, so we're just going to check those out right now while we're here. We got the full art Giovanni's Exile with a nice Team Rocket crest on his jacket with the R in the background. And we do have another Team Rocket card up here. Probably one of the best ones we've ever gotten, and that is Jesse and James. This card used to be a couple dollar card, and now pretty expensive, raw $55. I love how Meowth and Wobbuffet are also in that card, so that is absolutely beautiful. But yeah, the set itself is crazy. Like I said, it just didn't have alternate arts. And honestly, probably one of the most reprinted sets we've ever gotten. But all right, let's check out some of these cards individually. We got the Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno. This is a tag team alternate art, so this is basically the only one we really got on the set. And this was at $186 in a 10, dropped down to $115. Now last sold $130, $135, and $120. This has a pop of $11,000 in a 10, $4,500 in a 9. And raw, it's about a $25 to $30 card. Very affordable. No texture, though. Next, we have the full art Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno tag team. This has a pop of $8,700 in a 10, $6,700 in a 9. Last sold raw, $30, $35. And we got a PSA 10 here at $129. That card is very cheap. Next, we have the Rainbow. This is, in my opinion, one of the best Rainbows we've ever gotten. It's just that it was so easy to pull. If you've ever opened up Hidden Fates before, let's say you open up a couple hundred packs or something like that, you're going to pull a ton of these. Like, it was crazy. Almost every time that I opened up Hidden Fates, I'd pull one of these. So this has a pop of $15,000 in a 10, $6,900 in a 9. That sold raw, again, about $25 to $40. We got a PSA 10 at $120. And we got some baby shinies here. We got the Charmander. I actually like these baby shinies more than what we got for Paldean Fates art-wise. These ones just look a little bit more realistic, which I always enjoy. But it looks like Charmander is going up. It was $50 in a PSA 10. Now last sold $90, $85. And raw, it's about a $12 to $15 card with a pop of $6,300 in a 10 and $4,400 in a 9. And here is the Charmeleon. Very similar pop. And honestly, same exact price raw. We got a PSA 10 though, $43, $55, and $60. So very cheap. Next, we have that full art Jesse and James. This is a pop of $14,000 in a 10, $7,200 in a 9. And last sold in a 10, $199 and $182. And we got the full art shiny Mewtwo. So that's what's cool about this set too. All of these are shinies. So if you're a shiny hunter, shiny collector, this is perfect for you. That's why I really wish Paldean Fates gave us a few more illustration rares and special illustration rares, because the quality of Pokemon they chose is not as good as Hidden Fates, and they only sprinkled a few more, you know, of the actual SIRs and illustration rares to where I still almost like Hidden Fates a little bit more. But of course, you know, you got the SIRs, that's pretty tough to beat. So the Mewtwo popped 6,900 in a 10, 4,800 in a 9, last sold in a 10, 225. Raw, 100, 125, and 75. And we got the Espeon. I love the green Espeon. Pop of 5,600 in a 10, 2,900 in a 9. Last sold in a 10, 196, 250, 240, 215, and raw right around $100. Next, we have the Cynthia trainer. This has a pop of 4,300 in a 10, 2,500 in a 9. Last sold raw, 140, 160. We got a PSA 10 at 260 and one super cheap one here at 170. Before that, it goes right to 300, 240, and 252. Next, we have the Sylveon. Again, very similar pop, about 5,000 in a 10, 3,000 in a 9. Last sold in a 10, 365. Last sold raw, $150. We got one out of 113. And the Umbreon with a pop of 6,500 in a 10, 4,600 in a 9, so just a little bit higher. So this card got up to $661 in a 10, dropped down to $364. Now last sold 415, 480. We got raw at 165 and another raw here at 229 and 190. Next, the big boy, the Charizard. This has one of the higher pops, 9,100 in a 10, 7,400 in a 9. That's because every single person is going to get it graded. This got up to $1,500 in a 10, dropped down to $1,000, and now last sold $1,250, $1,200, $1,150, $1,081. And raw, we got 622, 570, 526, 515 for, you know, a non-special illustration rare or non-alternate art. That is pretty dang good. And we got the Hidden Fates booster pack. It's only up a little bit from the last 3 months. Was at like 34. Now that sold 45, 42, 40. Like I said, this set was reprinted so much to where it's moved a lot slower than pretty much everything else in the Sun and Moon era. And we have the Hidden Fates ETB. I do think this is one of the coolest ETBs. I mean, getting Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno all in the same ETB is pretty sweet. Was at $370 3 months ago. Now that sold $499, $500, $480, $434. So finally getting some love. And there is a couple other Hidden Fates products. You got the tins and you got a couple really nice big collection boxes. But all right, let's jump to Team Rocket. So Team Rocket has been sprinkled throughout a bunch of different sets. I mean, we even got more Team Rocket stuff in Ascended Heroes. I really wish they would have just put all of these into Destined Rivals to really make Destined Rivals crazy. Because I think even just getting the Dugtrio and Mimikyu would have actually helped the set a lot. Not saying it's a bad set, but of course it could always be better. And then, you know, we got the new Team Rockets, Mewtwo EX. I mean, that would be crazy to get 2 SIRs in a set of the same Pokemon, which we just got in Ascended Heroes, so they definitely could have done that. And I actually like these little reverse holos with the R on here. I think they look pretty sweet. So I'm actually a pretty big fan of those. So yeah, we got some in Ascended Heroes, and we got some promos here. You know, they got the Team Rocket tins, where you're getting the Team Rockets Mewtwo, Team Rockets Nidoking, and the Team Rockets Persian, along with the Team Rockets Wild Buffet Pokemon Center promo and the regular one. Pokemon Center is about $75, and the regular one is about $7. Now we got Destined Rivals. So not every single card from Destined Rivals is Team Rocket. And by the way, if anyone is doing a Team Rocket set, hit me up on Instagram. I would love to see some pictures of all of these together. I think that'd be a really fun, cool set to try to complete. But we got the Team Rockets Mewtwo, you know, Cynthia's Garchomp, that's not Team Rocket. Team Rockets Moltres, along with the promo we got. And the Team Rockets Nidoking, Crobat, Mewtwo. We got the Team Rockets Giovanni. So we got a good handful of Team Rocket stuff in here. Team Rockets Ariana, Team Rockets Meowth, Team Rockets Houndoom, Petrol, the Murkrow, you know, Proton, Ariana, Weezing, Spidops. So a very good handful of cards in here. Probably some of the most we've ever gotten. I really like the Team Rockets Orbeetle too. I think that card's sick. But we pretty much all know about this set since it's brand new. So we'll jump to the next one. We got the Giovanni's Charisma from 151. A beautiful, super clean card. I honestly love everything about it. I love the Master Ball in the background. You know, you got the Team Rocket crest with Persian. This thing is sick. Was at 152. Dropped down to like 80, 90. Now that's sold 125, 130. Everything in 151 is going up in price right now. So I could definitely see this card shooting up a lot more. because it was like a $12, $13 card. We got a sale here at $27 now and 20. Next, we have the full art Boss's Order, one of the sickest arts we've ever gotten for just a regular full art trainer. Before we really got SIR trainers and stuff, I just thought this thing was so clean. It only has a pop of 1,000 in a 10, 599 in a 9. Last sold in a 10, 150. We got another one at 100, and this is about a $40 card. And we also got the Rainbow, which is the exact same card from the exact same set. Little lower pop, 717 in a 10, 194 in a 9. Last sold in a 10, $73, and we got one at 53 before that, which just seems crazy low. We do have an eBay sale at $63. Next, we have the full art Giovanni Scheme. It says a pop of 192 in a 10, 266 in a 9, so actually pretty tough to grade. Last sold raw, of course, depending on condition, it's going to be probably in the low 20s if you want it somewhat clean. We do have a PSA 10 sale here at $368, but that was a little bit ago. Next, we have the full art Team Rocket's Handiwork. I think this is one of the coolest cards we've gotten for like the Team Rocket trainers. I mean, it's just kind of unique how they all make an R. So this has pop of 197 in a 10, 403 in a 9. Last sold raw, again, about $20 if you wanted somewhat clean. We do have a PSA 10 sale here at $310. And the last one on eBay was $370. But all right, we're going to check out a couple random trainers before we get to the really big Team Rocket sets. So we do have Minion of Team Rocket. This is from Gym Heroes, and of course comes in unlimited and first edition. Very, very affordable card. It's a $5 unlimited card. Next, we have Team Rocket's Evil Deeds. This is from Neo Destiny. Another cool trainer, and yet again, very affordable. Set to model you played. But yeah, $3-4 card for unlimited. And it looks like the first edition is anywhere between like $5 or $7. Usually a first edition card for like a trainer or common or anything like that is kind of double the unlimited from what I've noticed. Next, we have Team Rocket's Trickery from Undaunted. Pretty cool little card right there. Again, couple dollar card. This one does not come in first edition or limited. Next, we have the Team Rocket's Meowth. I genuinely feel like this is one of the most underrated vintage cards on the market today. This is a pop of 1,757 in a 10, 1,000 in a 9. So there's not a ton of them out there. Last sold raw, 20, 15, 31, 10. But what's cool about it is it's Team Rocket's Meowth, but all of these little stone figures behind them are Pokemon. You can see the Charizard here clear as day. Plus, it's a Wizards of the Coast Black Star promo. There's no reason this card should not be $50, $60, $70 raw. Honestly. And I could see it being a $500, $600 card in a PSA 10. So I think I might pick up a few more of these. I think I have 3 of them, and I do have one of these in a PSA 10. All right, next we have Team Rocket Returns. Probably one of the greatest sets we've ever gotten. And honestly, every card in this set is just so expensive. So not everything in here like says Team Rocket. We got Gold Star Torchic, Mudkip. Doesn't say Rocket on it. But every EX card in here does say Rocket. Rocket's Mewtwo, Rocket's Snorlax, Rocket's Entei. And then when we're talking about the actual holos, that's when we got like the Dark Dragonite. But, you can get the reverse holo where it actually says EX Team Rocket Returns on the card. So I definitely count those. And we got the Here Comes Team Rocket. So we've gotten this card reprinted a couple times, but I mean, it's $215 raw from this set. Like I said, everything from this set is very, very expensive. And not every single card in this set either says Rocket or Dark. We do have a couple other ones. We got the Togepi here, Togetic, Magikarp, Delibird. We got the Magby, Dratini, Psyduck. So that's what I'm saying, though. This set is stacked. Even if you go down to a lot of the trainers and stuff, they got Team Rocket all over it. So this is definitely one of the craziest sets ever. I've always wanted to master set this, but it is honestly kind of scary to even start because every one of these reverse holos and stuff is just so expensive now. So I just collected the EXs, the Gold Stars, and I do have a couple of the reverse holos. Of course, the Dragonite and Dragonair and stuff for my Dragonair collection. But yeah, this set is insane. We're going to click on the Rocket's Mewtwo, see what this card is selling for. So this is the top EX in the set. This is a pop of 84 in a 10, 303 in a 9. That's why they're so expensive too. There just is not a lot of these out there. That sold raw, 370, 425, 735 in excellent condition. We got a PSA 9 at 22 and a PSA 9 before that at 32. That is quite the jump, and since they have such low pops in a 10, they do not sell very often. The last sold on eBay is $6,300, and we will go back and check a couple more. So the Rocket Snorlax, We're not going to check the gold stars today because we're just kind of sticking to the actual Team Rocket stuff. This has a pop of 109 in a 10, 315 in a 9. Last sold raw, 950. We got a PSA 9 at 2850, 2800. Another raw here at 300, 575, 625. You can get them somewhat cheap if they're absolutely destroyed. And last sold in a PSA 10 is $13,000. Now that sale is much more recent than that Mewtwo, so that's why that one's a little bit higher. And what else should we check? We'll check the Team Rocket's Entei. I feel like Entei does not get enough love. Pop of 87 in a 10, 284 in a 9. We got a PSA 10 sale here at $4,700 and a PSA 9 at $1,100. And raw, it's about a $200 to $350 card if you want a really, really nice. And what else can we check for Team Rocket? We'll check the Here Comes Team Rocket Secret Rare. This is the only secret rare in the set. This is a pop of 24 in a 10, 141 in a 9. Last sold on eBay, which was very recent actually, $3,289. And raw, if you want it clean, it's going to be closer to $200. You can find it for around $100, but it's going to be moderately played to lightly played. We got 9s all day long at about $400. But all right, let's jump to the actual Team Rocket set. This is the OG. We're going to be checking the first edition instead of the Unlimited. So we didn't get a lot of cards that actually say Team Rocket in the set. I mean, we do have the R set symbol, so that is cool. And then we got the dark Pokemon, which I'm actually a massive fan of. I would much rather have dark Pokemon over Pokemon that say like Team Rocket's Mewtwo and stuff like that. So that's why I was a little disappointed with Destined Rivals that we didn't get any of those. But there's a couple really, really cool cards here. The Dark Slowbro and the Dark Magneton. These are actually some of the toughest cards to grade in the set because they have so much surface hollow. But you can see the little shadows with the R in the background. Some of my favorite cards in the actual set, and this is a set that has Dark Raichu, which was our first ever true secret rare. This is number 83 out of 82 that we actually got in like a mainline set, so that is super, super cool. And of course, this set is stacked. We got Dark Charizard, Dark Blastoise, Dark Dragonite, Dark Raichu. We did not get a Dark Venusaur in this set, but there is a Dark Venusaur out there that is a promo. We got the Dark Machamp, Dark Hypno, Golbat, Dugtrio, Vileplume, Arbok. You know, you got to have Arbok in there for sure. And then we got the Here Comes Team Rocket, which has been reprinted, 10 different times. We got the Rocket Sneak Attack. Got the Dark Jolteon, Dark Vaporeon, Dark Flareon, Dark Charmeleon. So some very, very cool cards in this set. But we're going to check out some of the big guys here. So we got the Dark Charizard. So this is the first edition. This has a pop of 554 in a 10, 3,400 in a 9. And it just keeps going up in price, like crazy amounts. This was $7,000 in August. And now last sold is $17,000. No, we got a newer one, $19,400. And that was sold by Z&G. So you know that is legit. Then Rob, we got a 650 heavily played, 600 heavily played, PSA 9, 1,900. Another PSA 9, 1,700. PSA 9, 21. So very, very expensive card. The Unlimited, definitely much cheaper, but in a PSA 10, still crazy expensive. Next, we have the Dark Blastoise First Edition. Has a pop of 228 in a 10, 2,100 in a 9. Last sold raw, 240, 400, 321, 315. PSA 9 at 877 and 970. And the last PSA 10 sale we got on here is $2,000, which is not correct, and that is a while ago. I do want to check that Dark Raichu. It's kind of a crazy card since it's that secret rare. So this is a pop of 244 in a 10. Last sold raw, 231, 277. We got a PSA 9 at 600, PSA 9 at 500. Honestly, I thought it'd be a little bit more expensive, and we do have a PSA 10 sale here at $4,500. All right, let's see if there's anything else we want to check. We will check the first edition. Here Comes Team Rocket. This is a holo, so pretty cool card. Has a pop of 808 in a 10, 1,500 in a 9. And last sold raw, it's about a $55 to $60 card. We got PSA 9s at about $100 and a PSA 10 at $450. All right, we're jumping to some Japanese exclusives. So they have a set called Ash versus Team Rocket. A little deck kit. Bunch of super, super cool, Team Rocket cards. Got Jesse James right here. We got Jesse and James with Meowth and Wobbuffet with Beware right here. So last sold raw, 45. We got a PSA 10 at 225, 209, 160. So not very expensive. Next, another card from that set, Team Rocket's Harassment with Jesse and James. Last sold raw again, about $45. PSA 10, 255. We got one high one here at 804. That is for a different card, of course. The rest are about 200 to about 250 for this card. And it has a pop of 224 and a 10 and 83 and a 9, so there isn't a ton of them out there. Next, we have the Marini with James in the back. This has a pop of 110 and a 10, 9 and a 9. And this is about a $15, $20 card. PSA 10, $60. And we have the Waba fit with Jesse and James in the background. Last sold in a 10, 170, 150, 130. So these cards are very, very affordable. And we have the Team Rockets Mimikyu GX. I love this card. Mimikyu front and center. Takes up almost the whole card, but you got Jesse, James, and Meowth in the background. Super, super nice. Last sold in a 10 for this one. 517, 550. And that was very recent. Raw, looks like it's about $100 to $150 depending on condition. With a pop of 939 and a 10, 369 and a 9. Definitely one of the cooler cards on the list. Next, we have the Japanese Versus series. So there's actually a lot of Rockets cards in here. Like right here, we got the Rockets Entei, Rockets Suicune. And it actually shows like the little trainer, which is super nice. And we got the Rockets Waba fit, of course. Rockets Tyranitar. That one is super sick. So yeah, this is a set you cannot miss if you're trying to get all the Rocket cards. And honestly, it's one of the most undervalued and underrated sets we've gotten. They're finally getting some more love, but they could still be a lot more expensive. And 90% of the hobby doesn't even know what these cards are, to be honest. But we will check the most expensive Rocket card here, which looks like going to be the Rockets Entei. This is a pop of 359 and a 10, 463 and a 9. Last sold raw, 125, 81. PSA 9 at 270. We got a raw at 150. And we do have a PSA 10 sale here at $1,764. So pretty expensive in a 10. But yeah, super, super cool set. Next, so we have the Pretend Boss Pikachu teams, and we do have a Pretend Boss Pikachu Team Rocket. There's a bunch of different ones, Plasma, Galactic, Skull, Flare. Very cool little collection if you guys did not know about this, but they are pretty expensive. So here's the Team Rocket one. Last sold in a 10, $2,285. Otherwise before that, $3,000. And before that, $3,300. Raw, we got $600. 619, 380, 333. Says a pop of 840 and a 10, 350 and a 9. Such a cool, unique card. Next, some of the biggest cards in the entire list. So we have the Team Rocket special case. So we do have a sale here at $7,981, but that was about 6 months ago. And here is the Giovanni Scheme. These cards are absolutely insane. These are some cards that I have always wanted, but I've just never been able to pick up for a decent deal. Last sold on here, which says 2024 is $7,500, but we do have newer sales for these cards. We do have a sale for the Giovanni Scheme at $30,000, and for the Team Rocket special case, $13,200. So yeah, very expensive, basically the most expensive cards in the entire list today, and honestly, some of the coolest ones for sure. And we got some steel products. Of course, Team Rocket has a ton. And, you know, the Team Rocket Returns booster box and Team Rocket booster box. But, you know, Destined Rivals is full of it. And the Team Rocket's Moltres UPC, which I just picked another one up when I was vending. Very cool. I mean, having that big R on there. Honestly, that might be one of the best looking Team Rocket products we've ever gotten. So that's why I'm picking up a ton of them. And last on the list, we have that Team Rockets case, which be careful buying these because you can get them without all the products on the inside or with. They're much cheaper without. Honestly, I think I'm just going to buy the case without it because I just kind of want the case. I think it's pretty cool. And they're getting very affordable now. Listed for about $130, but I did see a couple sales right around $100. So that is a very, very cool box. But if you could get it with all the products in it and stuff, I think that'd be even better. It's just a lot more expensive, obviously. But very cool product. I like when they do stuff like that. But all right, that was today's Pokemon Throwback Thursday. If you guys like this content and you guys want to stay ahead of the market, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. If you guys want to support more, you guys can check out my Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube membership, all that. You guys know what to do. But all right, I want you guys to have a great day. And if you guys want to watch my last Pokemon What If Wednesday, which honestly is one of my best ones I've ever done, click this video here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.